1 out of 1. Ready. Sterilize. Complete. Good luck.
อืม